Conscious Leadership Podcast, the human side of leadership, where consciousness meets practical business leadership. The podcast dives into real challenges managers face, from team motivation to navigating change. Discover actionable insight, proven strategies, and inspiring stories to help you lead with clarity, authenticity, and impact. Whether you are an SME owner, a team leader, or simply passionate about conscious leadership, this podcast will equip you with the tools to build stronger teams, foster trust, and achieve sustainable success. Tune in, lead consciously, and make a difference. Hello, and welcome to the next episode of the Conscious Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Boris Nedved. In the last episode, we explored the principles of human-centric business model and how I see it, what I believe is the right way forward, and why placing people at the center of strategy leads to greater success. Today I want to build on that foundation by turning our focus to a critical piece of that, recognizing and nurturing individual strengths. So in this episode I want to explore what I consider the heartbeat or the essence of an organizational transformation, being the recognition and nurturing of individual strengths. You might recall from earlier episodes and chapters of my book Human-Centric Business that we are stepping into a new era where people are seen as unique contributors whose strengths, when cultivated, can become the organization's greatest competitive advantage. So let me ask you a question, and I know that I've asked that question already a couple of times. How well do you know the strengths of the individuals in your team? And not just the obvious functional skills like accounting, programming, project management, and so on, but their unique skills, their unique decision-making strategies, their unique interpersonal collaboration styles, intrinsic leadership potential, their preferred ways of processing information, just to name a few. And today we'll walk through what it means to reveal and apply these deeper intrinsic strengths, why I think it's crucial for innovation and growth, and how to build a culture that not only supports but celebrates this individual uniqueness. Recognizing and nurturing individual strengths, for me, is the cornerstone of a truly human-centric business. In a world that values authenticity and adaptability more than ever, focusing on the person behind the job title, behind the position, is for me no longer optional. It's the key, it's the essence, it's essential. And we are not just talking about the skills on the resume. We're talking about who people are at their core, how they make decisions, how they relate to others, how do they best absorb and apply information. When you unlock this level of understanding, you create an environment where people can truly thrive. And let me be clear, a one-size-fits-all approach to development of that, to harvesting of that, cannot be done. It's outdated and it doesn't work. And it's in almost all cases counterproductive. What we need in a business is a personalized, strength-based approach that increases the engagement, that enhances innovation, improves productivity. When the team members are in and empowered and empowered to utilize and lead with their strengths, a new layer of trust and accountability is built across the organization. It changes how people interact, how projects are approached, how projects are performed, executed, how success is defined. And one of the tools I regularly use and I really advocate is BG5 and O16, the business application of human design, this unique system of differentiation with 54 digits, unique possibilities of showing who a person is. It provides these deep insights into a person's energetic design. And if you follow a little bit quantum mechanics, then everything is energy. We are energy beings. And that is a key aspect of it. Strengths, decision making, all these strategies and many, many more are coming from that, are defined by that. And if you're really interested, what else is there? I invite you to read my book, where in chapter 4 I really dive deep into these topics, or to schedule a free half-an-hour call with me, and I can explain you and can guide you through, and I would be happy to do so. But let me give you as well a quick example now. I worked with a company, and we used the BG5 assessment for the team they have, and the work they do, the tasks, the processes, the work allocation to the individual team members. And I recall there was an engineer, a lady, and she was struggling in her coding role, in doing this pure developmental coding work. And the data revealed that she was and is a visionary thinker. And the company took the data very serious. And based on data and discussing with her, they reassigned her to the product development team. And guess what? Within 6 months, she was leading ideation sessions and playing a critical role in shaping new product lines. How come? That's what happens when you align someone with their natural intrinsic strength. And the company benefits, the person benefits. It's way more joyful for her to work in that role. She's thriving. And the company can harvest the outcome. So this isn't about performance management. It's about potential development. And the results, as in these small examples, they are transformative. So creating a strength-based culture in a company is, it's like nurturing a garden. It's an intentional and conscious act of cultivation. Just as a garden requires careful attention to the unique needs of each plant to truly flourish, you as a conscious leader, you as well, I would even call it must, and I don't like the word must or have to, but I think it must in you. You must recognize that each team member in your team is a unique individual that thrives under different conditions. So this gardening metaphor ties for me perfectly and directly into conscious leadership, where the goal is not to enforce uniformity and conformity, but to facilitate growth, to facilitate expression, to facilitate contribution in alignment with an individual strength. By tending to each individual's development with awareness and care, you as a conscious leader, you can cultivate a diverse, thriving organizational ecosystem, your small team, and you can let it grow. You are the first one that has a flourishing garden where everyone contributes their unique value. Companies like Salesforce exemplify such an approach already. Their Ohana culture isn't just a marketing fluff. And Ohana is, I think, the Hawaiian word for family. And I think it's a very well chosen word. They run workshops, training programs, and use their own tech tools to help employees and leaders to identify and celebrate their unique strengths. So it's embedded in how they work. It's intrinsic. They live it. And you have Zappos. Their culture prioritizes values, individuality, and team fit over rigid experiences checklist, rigid resume checklists. They embrace uniqueness and they train for skills later. They help new hires thrive in their own way. When you prioritize this kind of culture, employees feel more connected. Employees would come. They want to work for you. They are looking for that. Millennials, Gen Z, they are looking for purpose. And they feel valued, not just for what they do, but for who they are. They are human beings. And yeah, I know it's all business, and so let's talk outcomes. What's in it for the business? Think higher engagement. All the bad reports, and I've named a couple of them already a couple of times. Higher engagement would result when you do that. People who use their strengths every day are more committed and energized because they do what they like to do. They do what they are good at. It boosts innovation. This diversity of thought, the creativity, all of that lets ideas flourish when people feel safe and empowered to contribute. You will have greater productivity. When people work in alignment with their strengths, they perform faster, they perform better, and they perform with lesser stress. Lower turnover is a result of that. More resilience is a result of that. People stay where they feel seen, valued, and supported. So they stay with you. You have a growing employee base that knows the business. They like the business. You build a family. You build a Ohana culture. And it leads to leadership identification. This strength-based model helps you recognize leadership potential that might be overlooked in traditional systems, because it would show it. So when strengths are nurtured, companies build an agile, forward-thinking workforce, equipped to handle the change that is all out there and the disruption that happens, and they deal with it with confidence. Adobe's Learning Fund is a fantastic example. It doesn't only allow the employees to tailor their professional development to personal goals and interests, but Adobe also measures the program's success through employee feedback scores, participation rates, performance outcomes, and so on. So they have data-driven evaluation that ensures that the learning investments are meaningful for the individual, but have as well an impact for the organization as a whole, for the company as a whole. So the very important return on investment, the ROI, can be measured. And employees are given the tools and the freedom to pursue learning that suits their own goals and their strengths. Mentorship, stretch assignments, personalized learning paths, you can all add to that. They create the momentum that both individual and strategic targets are met. It's not about random development. It's about smart, targeted growth that benefits the person and the company. And as mentioned before, a strength-based environment supports agility. When people are working from their strengths, they are more willing to stretch into new roles, explore and experiment. And isn't that the heart of innovation? And doesn't that help a company to stay relevant in the global market, where speed and innovation is a key factor to stay in business? So you can encourage exploration, support experimentation, let them deal with their strengths. They learn it, they know it, and they are happy about it. You can, for example, consider a cross-departmental project where marketing and product development teams collaborate to design a new campaign. By bringing together different strengths, and that is as well functional strengths, you creative storytelling from marketing and the technical insights from product development team. Both teams gain new perspectives. They learn as well functionally. They learn from one another. And often they produce a more innovative and cohesive result, because the marketing guys would know what the product is about, and the product guys would know how to do marketing. What features should be there, that the marketing is a good thing. So this kind of cross-pollination strengthens organizational flexibility, encourages a growth mindset. So let your teams cross-pollinate across departments. The more diverse the exposure you give them, the more resilient the team becomes, the more knowledgeable they become. So yeah, for me it's a crystal clear thing, and I hope it comes out in all what I'm saying. And this is despite all this buzzing around AI. The future of business is human-centric. That is the absolute essence for me. It's recognizing, nurturing individual strengths. That is the key. The key that unlocks innovation, engagement, and sustainable success for the companies. So let me give you the challenge like I give every time. In the previous episode, we explored the foundation of the human-centric business. And the business model and how I see it. And why placing the people at the heart of the strategy fuels transformation. Now, building on that, today's focus is on recognizing the individual strengths to help us bring that philosophy into life. So, here's my challenge. What is the one strength you overlooked in your team? And what would it look like if you invested in that strength starting today? What would it add? What would it give? And how might that shift your team's dynamic over time? Yeah, please, let's keep this conversation going. It's really at my heart. I wanna change the corporate world by placing a human in the center. That is my driver. That is my passion. So I would be really happy if you share your thoughts in the comments. Connect with me. Reach out to me. Give me a call. Give me a shout out. Visit my website, humaninthecenter.com. It would be a pleasure. I want to help you transform. I want to help you thrive. I want to help you to shape your teams for the future. So thank you. Thank you wholeheartedly for tuning in. Until the next time, stay intentional, stay conscious, and keep leading with purpose. Thank you for listening to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. Look forward to the next episode to come, and stay intentional, stay conscious, and keep leading with purpose. Until the next time, bye.